Hello again, Alice the Ordained here. I am going to show you today how to make a granny square. I have this lovely chunky yarn. I think it will make a great coaster. Sorry, my dogs are going nuts. Anyway, now that you can hear me again, let's go ahead and make our slip knot. I showed you how to do this in the last video. You're going to put your hook in the inside, spin it around, switch hands, yarn over, and pull it through the loop, and then tighten. So we got our nice little slip knot on there, and I'm going to adjust this, make sure I can be seen very well. So to start a granny square, I like to start with 4 chains, and then we'll connect them, and we'll make a little circle in the middle. So here's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we have our nice front of our chain like we talked about last time, and we're going to go into this first chain here. It doesn't really matter which side of the back loop you go on, as long as you're in that chain. Then you're going to yarn over and come through both loops. This is called a slip stitch, and that's how we connect the ring. While you're working on these next few stitches, I want you to carry that tail around this ring with you, and you're going to cover it with your next stitches. That'll make more sense as we go. So now that we have our ring made, we're going to do 3 chain stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do a double crochet stitch, and we're going to make sure that we go around this tail here. So we're going to bring it up in front so we can see it better. And when we are doing our double crochets, we're going to go through this big middle opening here. Okay, so we're going to yarn over, go through the middle, make sure that our working yarn is going around that tail. I'm going to yarn over on the back. Sorry, you can't see that very well. Yarn over, hold on. Okay, yarn over, and we're going to pull that ring off so that you have 3 loops on your hook. We're just going to hold on to this chain over here. Now we're going to yarn over again, pull through 2, yarn over again, and pull through 2. There we go. Now once we have that accomplished, we're going to grab this double crochet that we just made. We're going to grab this tail and the ring that we're working in. We're going to move that double crochet closer to that chain. Just work it on over there, because we're going to need all the space we can get later. So this chain here counts as our first double crochet, and then we have another double crochet. We're going to do 1 more double crochet for this side of the granny square. So yarn over, go into the middle. Can you see my hook? Yarn over again, and come back up. Yarn over again, and go through 2. Yarn over again, and go through 2. Alright, so that's side 1 of our granny square start. Okay, sorry, I keep getting all the way over there. I don't mean to. Let me move my chair a little bit. There, hopefully that makes it better. Now we're going to chain 3. We're making the corner of our granny square first round. So 1, 2, 3, and the next thing we have to do is make 3 more double crochet for the second side. So go 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet. Oh, that tail's getting fidgety in there. And this is our 3rd double crochet. And there we are. Tighten that up a little bit. Tug on that tail. You see how it's starting to make a square? We have a little corner of a square here. So this will be side 1 and side 2. We have to make side 3 and side 4. So we're going to chain again. We're going to chain 3 to make another corner like this one. So 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do 3 more double crochets. So here's 1, here's 2, and here comes the 3rd one. Here we go. I'm going to tighten this up again. Grab that ring, grab that last double crochet, and tighten that up. See how it moved a little bit? That'll leave us room for our last side. So now we're going to do another chain 3 to make that 3rd corner. So 1, oh, I need to get some more yarn out here. 2, and 3, and we're going to do 3 more double crochet. So 1, 2, and 3. Now this last little bit's a little different. After we get this last double crochet done, there we are, you'll notice we have 3 stitches over here, but we don't have a corner. So we're going to make a corner by chaining 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to do a slip stitch into the beginning of this, or into the top of this chain that we started on. So we're going to stick our hook in there, yarn over, and we're going to pull through the fabric and through the other loop. And that's our slip stitch. As you notice, we are not in a place where we can make a new section. If you know anything about granny squares, which is perfectly fine if you don't, you are new, it's okay. We need to get over into this area. And we're going to do that by making slip stitches here, here, and then one last one here. So I'm going to put my hook in where I want my slip stitch. I'm going to yarn over, pull it through the fabric and through that last loop. Okay, now I'm going to do it again right here. I'm going to put my hook through the fabric, yarn over, pull it up, and pull it through that last loop. And one more time to get into this corner space, I'm going to yarn over and pull it through that last loop. And now we're in a place where we can start our next row. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Now the concepts I'm teaching here can be used throughout granny square making. If you want to go 3 rounds, that's fine. If you want to go 50 rounds, that's perfectly fine. So however big you want to make your granny squares is completely up to you, or up to your pattern, depending on what you're using. So we're going to make another double crochet, and then another double crochet, and then we'll have to make a corner, well, scratch that. We're going to make 2 more double crochet, 3 chains, and 3 more double crochet, and that'll be our actual corner. So here's our first double crochet, our second double crochet, it looks like I might be playing yarn chicken today. And then we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to do 3 more double crochet. And that's how we make our corner. Three. See our nice little neat corner? Now, whenever you skip a triple stitch section like this, you need to chain 1. And that's a rule throughout granny square making. This is the basic granny square pattern. There are several out there. Not all of them call for the single chain in between. But for the basic one, you need that single chain. And now we're on to our next corner, where we'll do 3 double crochet, 3 chain, and 3 double crochet. So let's get started with that. So we have 1, 2, 3, and then 3 chain, and 3 double crochet. Now we have another 3 stitch cluster. So we're going to chain 1. And we'll do another corner. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, and then 3 chain. 1, 2, 3. And then 3 more double crochet. I'm hoping I can get around this last section without needing more yarn, but it doesn't look like I'm gonna make it that far. So I might be changing colors. I can show you how I do that while I'm at it. There are lots of ways to change colors. There are lots of ways to attach more yarn. I'm just going to show you the way I do it, the way I feel is most secure. And you can look up other videos if you'd like to find other ways to do it. Okay, so we're at a point where I can no longer use this yarn. We're going to switch over to gray because that's what I have here. Get that out real quick. Alright, I got this nice beautiful gray yarn. It's the same type of yarn. It's in a ball. I did not ball it. I was given it from a friend very generously. And I'm going to show you one of the ways that I like to add color. If you're not particular in how you would like to add the color or where you want it to start, I like to just back out of my stitch, connect the 2 pieces like this so their ends are matching up, and then just tie a regular knot. Tie a plain old knot with lots of tail. So this way you have tail that you can work into your project, and you can just simply keep going with your yarn. And when I come up to that knot, I just pretend it's not there and skip it. So I'll yarn over, go into the fabric. Now if I pull this section up here, that's too short and it won't let me come back through. So I'm going to pull the gray part up. See how that came up nice and easy? It did bring the tails to the front, but I'm not too concerned about that. And then yarn over and go through the loops like normal. And that's perfectly fine. We'll hide that knot and the tails later. And then 1, 2, 3. And then we'll do our other 3 double crochet. Oh, these tails are going to be confusing for you. Goodbye, tails. Go away, tails. I'm going to hold the tails in my hand so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. 1, 2, 3. And you can always look back over your project. You can clearly see 1, 2, 3 stitches. Alright, now we have to do another single chain. I'm going to get some more yarn off of this ball. Maybe. It doesn't want to cooperate with me. There we go. So we're going to do a chain 1, and then we'll do our slip stitch into the beginning of this chain over here. So we'll go into the chain, yarn over, come back through, and back through that loop that we just made. Now we'll do our slip stitches again. So we'll do our slip stitch here, and here, and here. Now normally you would change your color at this point, but because I ran out of yarn, I had to change my color back here. So just ignore that. This is round 1, these 4 in the middle, and then we have 8 making up round 2. Now we're going to work on round 3, where everything gets a little more, I'd say a little more complicated, and yet a little more understandable. So we're going to make our corner by chaining 3, 2 double crochet, this gray yarn is a little softer than the purple yarn. It's not working as easily as I'd like. 3, then chain 3, and then do 3 more double crochet. Now we're going to skip this 3 stitch cluster like we've been talking about by doing a single chain. Now we have this opening here on the side that we haven't had before. Now every time you have an opening like this, you're going to do 3 double crochet into it. That doesn't matter if you have 1 opening on the side between your corners, or if you have 15 openings on the side between your corners. You still do a chain before, 3 double crochet in the opening, and a chain after. That's Granny Square Basics. So we're going to do our 3 double crochet. And we'll do our single chain, and we'll go back to doing our corner again. I have one of my dogs behind me keeping me company. He's a good boy. Good dog. Make sure you get that corner right, because if not, you'll end up with a 3-pointed granny square or a 5-pointed granny square, and that's just not what we want most of the time. Granted, there are patterns for those things, but you don't want to end up with that when you're trying for a 4-cornered granny square. So then it just wouldn't be a square. Alright, so we've come to another 3 cluster. We make our single stitch, our single chain stitch, and then we do our 3 double crochet in that side opening again. Now we got another 3 stitches. We're going to skip over those with a single chain and then do our corner again, which is 3 double crochet, 3 chain, and 3 double crochet. Gotta get some more yarn off. Come on, yarn. There we go. Shout out to the person that gave me this yarn. She's a very kind and honest person. I like her a lot. She hasn't had time for yarn recently, and it's very kind of her to gift me this. She gave me quite a bit of yarn, so shout out to her. You know who you are. Whoops. Maybe I shouldn't be crocheting so close to my stand. Got a little wild there. And who says crocheting can't be a wild sport? Well, wild craft anyway. I've seen some people go very, very fast with crochet. There was one time my daughter was learning how to crochet, and I was showing how to do a double crochet. And my daughter turns to me and goes, "I think I got it. You can go your normal speed now." And I said, "I am going my normal speed." And they go, "Oh, okay." Implying that they thought I was a lot faster than I actually am. Alright, we're back to the beginning here now. We have a bunch of tails behind, so don't pay too much attention to that. But we have our beautiful square. Can't really see that very well. Let's see if I can hold it up better. Beautiful square. And then we're going to chain 1 and do a slip stitch into the top of this chain over here, just like we have been. Now if you want to continue with this square and do another round or a 4th round, you can do your slip stitches over here, get into that big hole, make your corner, and continue on. But I think for today we're done. I'm done anyway. I do not wish to continue with this. It's beautiful just as it is. I am going to end up taking it out to save the yarn because I do not need another granny square. But I wanted to show you guys how, well, not guys, you folks. Let's be inclusive around here. I wanted to show you folks how to make a granny square. That's exactly what we did today. So I'm not going to tie off. However, I will show you how to tie in your ends. So let's get my little baggie here. I made this bag myself, and it's wonderful for holding, you know, crochet hooks, pens, pencils. I prefer a metal yarn needle. Not sure why, but I do. You don't have to have any of these fancy gadgets. You don't have to have a needle holder. I did find this on Amazon. I do not have a link down below because I don't feel like adding one. But if you search needle holder, I'm sure you'll find it. And the pouch was a probably half-hour project that my daughter and I did. So we're gonna go ahead and sew in these ends. So we're gonna take the yarn and kind of push it through the needle and grab it and pull it the rest of the way through. You can see the yarn is coming this direction. So we're just gonna continue on in that same direction. We're gonna go through all these loops down here. We'll pull it on through, and then once we know it's good and hidden, I can find my scissors. Beautiful pair of tie-dye scissors from Walmart. I know Walmart's getting a lot of hate right now, but it's really the only big box store that we have near us, so we'll have to deal with it for right now. And then we have these two ends, which I told you we would hide, right? So we're going to take this gray side, put it in the needle, pull it through. There's also another way to do this. If you're working with a worsted weight yarn or a size 4 yarn, you can spin the yarn like this and then fold it in half there, and that'll go through the needle much easier. However, it doesn't work with this specific yarn. So with this yarn, it's easier. Just go right through the end and pull it through. Now we see where it meets the two different colors. So for the gray side, we're going to go into the gray side. We're going to weave it in there, pull it all the way through, and then we'll skip the last loop that we went through. See how we have this dark gray loop here that we went through? We're going to skip that one and go right back through the other way. Okay? And that keeps it all nice and safe. We're going to stretch that out a little bit, play with it, and then we'll cut that gray yarn off flush. Maybe we should keep our needle. And you can't even tell there's a tail there. And we're going to do the same thing with the purple, except instead of going into the gray, we're going to go into the purple with the purple. So we'll go down this direction. That looks nice. And now you can barely tell there's even a knot there. Now we'll skip that last loop, come back through, take that needle off, and we'll trim that edge. Make sure you don't catch the edge of your actual work, because that'll be a very sad day. And there you are, finished block. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a lot. Please, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me down in the comments, or shoot me a private message. That'd be fine too. I'm not sure how that works on YouTube, but if you can do that, you're welcome to. But comments definitely will work. I will be monitoring them, and I hope you all have a great day or evening, whatever time it is by you. And show me your granny squares. I would love to see them. Variegated yarn is beautiful for granny squares. Solid yarns with color changes are gorgeous. Anything you make with a granny square, they're really hard to mess up. But if you do happen to mess up and need help, send me a video comment. Send me a question. I'm happy to help. we'll figure out where you went wrong. So, on that note, I hope you all have a great evening and see you next time. Bye.